They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
2nd down and 8. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as they'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded at the 33. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Lions will take over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. But there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 28. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game has his team run the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Second and 10. He'll look to throw. He'll get this off to Swift. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Another completion there. You know, we think about the draft back in the spring. He was selected, obviously, the #1 overall pick. There's great money with that, but, Charles, I would think maybe an extra burden, too, or is that not that big of a deal at all?
It actually is in the beginning of his career, an added burden, but it's one of those things that if you play well, it becomes something that justifies why you were taken #1. You're fine with that. If you don't play well, it can be an albatross. As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes. On first down, Swift, and he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
2nd and 3. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
First and goal at the 1. They'll set up to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside, and I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there, as that one was knocked away.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run with Swift. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift taking it in from a yard out. And the Lions are on the board here first in the season opener. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return from his end zone, Malik Taylor. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
They'll run with a big back, A.J. Dillon. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, 14 yards. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they get another shot here with a 1st and 10. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. He'll drop this one off to Swift. Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in this first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right?
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Ty Summers. And he'll get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of a yard. Second and 11. Back to throw here. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Six yards left on 2nd down. Goff a handoff here to Swift. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Lions on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams, because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot, if that's what they want to do.
If it was sunny, maybe this is a field goal attempt, but with the rain, they're going to go for it on 4th down. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. On 1st down, Swift. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They're going to look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for a football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it.
85 yards rushing for him in his first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence?
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So that about as easy an interception as a linebacker's ever going to have.
Yeah, when we use the word easy for them, it never is, right? Because, let's face it, a lot of them aren't blessed with the greatest of hands, but the pressure here, it gets home and forces the ball to hang up in the air, and they come away with the pick.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
They had enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? They'll run on first down. Swift Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He'll drop to throw. They'll find Swift out of the backfield. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Caught left side, it's Beckham. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers, eluding the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Of course we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make plays with his legs as well.
Yeah, showed it right there, outside of the pocket and on the money. On first down, Rodgers. Flush to his right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Corey Willis. And the Lions are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. A fairly short kick from the 14. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if they're...
Odell Beckham Jr. Touchdown, Detroit. Odell Beckham, 75 yards. And the Lions come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 8. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taylor now from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And it's incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick six territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Rodgers. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Rodgers throwing quickly out wide. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll go again to Jones. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 114 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Rodgers. Buying time to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drives exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. On the handoff, this is Swift. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
2nd and 15. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Derek Barnes in on the stop. 2nd and 6. Now a play fake. Rodgers. He'll buy some time right. And now this one may draw a penalty. He just blindly threw that one to the sideline. And yep, indeed, the flag is out. So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Dancing to his left. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. You just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. After the penalty, it's Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers flushed out right. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Lions are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. They'll look to throw here. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it, they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Got the safe completion on third. Here comes the Lions punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Romeo Okwara in on the tackle.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 135 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Rodgers. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 22-yard line. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground with Jones. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. Looking sideline, incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
The Packers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. They took their shot, but the coverage up to the task, and it forces a 4th down. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, just kicking a field goal there, that's a decision that could be open to second guessing. You know, you're trying to get back within a field goal, but it didn't work out as planned.
And now you're banking on your defense to be motivated enough to get out there and get the ball back for you. I think if that ball goes through the post, the defense...
And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run out of the gun with Swift. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now back to throw. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So a nice throw there. And, CD, I'd have to think you've been impressed with what you've seen thus far here in his debut.
Now, you know me well. I have been impressed because what I've seen is him starting to understand how to play the game in a short amount of time. The dazzling plays, they'll come with experience. But right now, we're seeing him handle the game, make all the smart plays, and the right reads.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they finally put an end to this return. And not before he's all the way down to the 37. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day.
Touchdown, Packers! A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Packers have taken the lead. A late turnover is so often the difference in a ball game, and here the turnover leads to the go-ahead touchdown.
So repeat after me, partner. You have to take care of the football. In order to protect a lead, you must take care of the football. Ball security. How many times do they have to say it? They've been preaching it since day 1 of camp, and it came back to bite them right there.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 79 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Forced out to his left. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. He juked him. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down. First down and much more here for Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Taking it about the 1. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers have just about sewn up this football game. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you're called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Running right, Jones. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. So it's